I'm Ruth Fox, I'm 19 years old and I'm a mental health advocate, author and public speaker. I was first diagnosed with depression at the age of 14. That kind of developed when my sister went to university. I really struggled to kind of deal with that loss and kind of changing the family dynamic a little bit. I also picked up an injury at the same time, and I play a lot of sport, I'm a footballer, so for me that was again difficult to deal with because I couldn't then kind of let out my emotions on the football pitch as I normally would. So these kind of events both kind of coincided, and I found myself in like quite a dark place, kind of crying for like days and days on end and had no idea why. I'd never come across mental health before, never come across depression before, and was just very confused about why I was feeling like this when I'd always been a really kind of happy-go-lucky kid. And yeah, I got diagnosed with depression and put on an antidepressant, which luckily for me at that age worked. Despite having some really tough weeks, I managed to get through that and grew in confidence and strength through going through such an adversity at such a young age. And yeah, I kind of came out of my shell a huge amount and really began to find my feet in the world. I went on and achieved like 9 A stars and 2 A's in my GCSEs and was predicted 3 A's in my A levels, and really thought that the world was at my fingertips and I was ready to go and make an impact as I've always wanted to. But no one ever told me that depression was something that I might have to live with for the rest of my life, or that could kind of come back and I could relapse. I assumed that it was something that I was then cured from, a bit like chicken pox or something like that. But unfortunately I found out the hard way that that wasn't the case. So in my final year of school in year 13, 3 A levels to contend with, again I found myself kind of in a very, very dark place, and this time it kind of got a lot darker. So I was kind of on and off medication, self-harmed, had very vivid suicidal thoughts. Luckily for me, I found a teacher who I confided in a huge amount, and he kind of basically just stood by my side for the rest of my kind of school career, made me a cup of tea and we just chat for literally hours. I owe him a huge amount. I think everyone should find, he was called Mr. Donahue, everyone should have their own Mr. Donahue, someone that you can just kind of lean on in your times of need. And I left school about this time last year. With no A levels, I decided not to take my A levels, and things continued to deteriorate. So in November, so not too long ago, I attempted to take my own life and was in hospital for 3 weeks. Again, very, very challenging time. And I also kind of had a lot of letdowns from the mental health services, unfortunately. But from kind of January onwards, it's been more of an upward trend, I guess, in how I've been feeling and the kind of impact that I'm able to have on other people. I think the things that have enabled me to recover from such a dark and difficult time are acceptance, so accepting where I am at any one time, talking to people. So I still talk to Mr. Donahue, I still meet him for a cup of tea. I think having that one person or more than one person to lean on is absolutely pivotal. Talking can truly change your life. I think it's important, if you recognise that someone else is struggling, to have the courage to ask how they're feeling and delve deeper, to have a conversation that could potentially save someone's life. I think we're very afraid of having an answer that's not I'm fine or I'm okay. We need to be able to deal with people's struggles. I think taking it day by day has really helped as well. So it can be really easy to look too far ahead into the future, and that can be quite daunting and scary. It's okay to say no to stuff. Depression can sometimes make it even hard to get out of bed in the morning, so to even do that is a success in itself and should be rewarded. It's so important to seek help. I've been really unfortunate in the kind of letdowns in the services that I've experienced, but speaking to a GP, a counsellor, someone at school, a friend or family member, absolutely pivotal. I think mental illness is something that you should never fight alone, and it's nothing to be ashamed of.